Well, good morning. Welcome back to Mill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry. It is a couple days after Thanksgiving and cold day up here in New England. Weather turned over on us and went subarctic on us at night. It's in the low 20s around here. Good part is we got a whole bunch of rain and it froze the mill yard up. So not going to be doing any milling this morning. So if you're on just to see milling videos, then this isn't going to be the video for you. I wanted to just give you guys an update of what we got coming up this week. I had a bunch of work come in. I know in the last video I said I thought I was almost done milling for the year, but I got a bunch of stuff in, so we're going to have to get that done this week. I'll show you what we got going on. I'll show you some of the projects that we got going out. I'll show you some of the stuff we cut. It's really interesting too. Some of this 5/4 oak, black oak flooring that we're cutting for Ben Silva's timber frame. I want to show you the finish on this stuff. And I'll show you the finish on that spruce beam that we cut. On that beat up, resharp Stellicut band, which I can't say enough good stuff about those Stellicut bands. They're unbelievable. But I'm going to show you that. I'll show you some of the customer projects that are going out of here. And today I got to get on Santa's sleigh. So it's Sunday. My wife's on the board of a charity, and they just built a veteran center here in town in Falmouth, Massachusetts. I helped out. We put some slab tops in. You could go back in some of the videos and see some of that stuff. And one of the activities that they have going on is our Christmas parade every year. Last year we won best float, so this year we get Santa. So I borrowed a trailer from Muskoski Construction, Muskoski Landscaping. Thank you, Paul, for letting us use it rather than using ours, which is kind of dirty and beat up. And some of the boards are kind of getting mushy. He didn't want somebody falling through it. Well, Paul gave us a trailer to use. I ran that over to the Veteran Center yesterday, and today I guess I'm going to run a bunch of lumber over there, and I'm kind of the hired gun to build Santa's sleigh for everybody to ride on for the Christmas parade next week. So we got that going on. And we got these customer logs going on. Also, I've been testing the Mechanix gloves, as you guys know from Mechanix. And I'll show you a couple things about those. I just started testing out a new pair because I put holes in the old pair. And I keep wrecking them and just telling them how long they last and what fails and so on and so forth. This new pair that I just got, these are all prototypes. So they haven't hit the market yet. They're testing them. They're asking me to test them, wreck them, and tell them what I think. So I'll show you the pair that I just stopped using, which was this pair. And they asked me for a comparison to the typical gloves I wear, these Husqvarna technical gloves. And they wanted to see the difference in the stitching on the fingertips. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at this wood. And we'll try to find Danny. Danny's off hunting chipmunks right now. He's over somewhere by the shed. We'll see if we can come across him on our travels here. Danny, come! Oh, I see him. I see him. He's over there. Oh, you're okay, bud. I see you. We'll check him out when we go check out these logs. So let's do the Mechanix gloves first, and then we'll go over. I'll show you these customer logs that we got to mill. A couple of them are gorgeous. It's not a very big job. Probably take us maybe an afternoon or two to mill all this stuff out. And then I do have to mill another black oak. I'll show you that one that I want to mill for some more of this flooring, because I figured if Ben does any type of shiplap on these, which is what I do on the floors, so that they can shrink and mice can't come up through. If he does something on them, it's going to reduce his coverage size. So I'm basing his coverage size on the full width of the board, and it's going to shrink a little bit. So I got to cut him some extra. And this isn't quite enough anyway. I need to mill one more log anyway. So we'll take a look at the Mechanix gloves, then we'll see Ben Silva's wood. I want to show you the finish on this stuff. We'll show you this spruce beam that's going over to Jim for his bedroom, and we should see the finish on that. got some black oak going. I got to put some shutters together for a customer. And I showed you that black oak last week that came back from another customer. He had too much. You know, he asked me for specific amounts. I gave him what he needed plus a little bit extra. He had a bunch of boards extra, and he was nice enough to bring it all back to me. What he had left over from his enclosed farmer's porch. He put a beautiful new oak floor in it and brought me everything back, gave back to me. So I got some of that, and I want to get that out to someone before it sits around here too long. And someday I'll have a storefront like a grown man and be able to put this stuff in a store. But for now, it's sitting out in the mill yard, and it's a good time of the year to have it sitting out, thank God. But I don't want it to twist up like a pretzel, and want to get it out. So I got it sold to a customer for shutters, and I don't know whether she's going to want to put them together or have me put them together, or whether she's going to cut them down, or so we'll find that out this week, and I'll get that all out of here so it's not here. So let's take a look at these Mechanix gloves. I'll give you an up close. I'm going to come behind the camera and give you an up close on this new pair that they just sent me. These do work with my phone, which is nice. They're very comfortable. They're actually warmer than the other pairs they've been sending me, so I've been wearing them a little bit here. And I'll show you these ones that we just so that, because Mechanix will watch this, so I want them to see what's going on. So this is the pair that I just wore out. You can see they got their prototype numbers in there, which don't mean anything to you guys, but they put these together and sent them to me to try, and you can see I wore out the fingers in a week. Maybe I get the light better here. And it all came apart around the stitching. I didn't really wear through the leather. The stitching came undone. Maybe I wore through that one. And these were great work gloves. I could get into my tool belt. I love this rubber palm. I was pulling screws out. I used these when I did my roof, which really takes a toll. The asphalt shingles take a toll on gloves. So I wore these out just doing the roof. And if you see the stitching difference, and he asked me to video this, but if you see the stitching difference, these kind of came together weird in the corner of the stitching. And the Husqvarna technical gloves, and they make these too. I don't know why they asked me to show them, because they make them. You can see the difference in the way they're stitched. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have worn a pair of these out doing that roof too, but these are the ones that I wear because they've always lasted me the longest. And they're about $40. So I think these price point wise were going to be around 20. So we get that in for Mechanix. Let's check out, since some of you are going to be on to see the Stellicut band finish here, let's check out this black oak that I cut. See if I can get light right here. And some of the finish on these boards on that old Stellicut band just came out great. Really beautiful, nice, smooth, straight, no waves in any of it. If I turn you around, get you, I got to get the light right, get it up close. You can see some ridges because this band does have a few teeth knocked off it, but it is a resharp. And also, you see these little black marks right here? This is what will happen to your oak if you don't scrape them off, which I do. I scrape off both sides. You will get tons of these on your oak if you leave your sawdust on them. Oh, you can see some up here. This log had no metal in it. This is all metal from the band. When the band cuts through the log and it cuts through anything on any dirt or anything like that, and you get some wear on the band, that just those little metal shavings will leave black staining all over your oak if you don't scrape them off. Look at the medullary rays in those two pieces over there. Those are gorgeous. It's be awesome floorboards. They're just beautiful boards. But look at the the finish on them is incredible. It's really that band, even though it's a resharp, I grind them from 10 over to 7. Have my own sharpening setup, and you guys, you can go back and watch videos of that if you want. But man, the medullary rays are beautiful on these. They're gorgeous little pieces. You can see a close-up of the finish there. They came out really, really nice. So even though that Stellicut band's got some teeth missing and it's a resharp, it's cut over 5,000 board feet on one sharpening, well over. It's still cutting phenomenal. And check out, this is the black oak that I'm going to make shutters out of. Man, it's got some great rays on some of those too. Look at the medullary rays on that one right there. Some pretty boards, but this log had a ton of metal in it if you watch me mill it, or a couple of the logs that I milled for Mike. They really had a ton of metal in them. You can see some black staining in these. These are going to make some great shutters for this little house refab that a friend of mine has going on. Here is a 15-foot spruce beam for Jim. And again, we'll get down in there to show the finish on it. You can see where, like I said, a couple of teeth, maybe 3 or 4 teeth are missing on this band. That's where we're getting some of these imperfections, but the cutout really nice and smooth and beautiful. It's a gorgeous spruce beam. It's going to be great for his living room. I mean, his bedroom. And let's go see. This is what we got in from customers on Wednesday to cut. So we got a beautiful white oak log here. This is for Ed Giordino, and he wants that slabbed up. And I got to double check with him on his dimensions, but I think he wants 1.5 inch slabs out of that. It's really kind of a cool log. It's a beautiful white oak. I don't see any black staining in it, which is nice. It's got a really, really weird, unique crotch thing here. Got some stuff sticking out of it. It's going to be some cool figure. I think it'll get slabbed this way. So I think that'll be the top of the log, I believe. So we can mill through that crotch there. It's going to be some real pretty pieces. He wants to make some benches and some stuff out of it. And then all these other logs came in from my friend Mike Trotto. He thought it was a sycamore. I'm just looking at it. It doesn't look like a sycamore to me. It looks more... So it looks to me like it's 2 different trees, maybe even 3 different trees, but I'm guessing 2 different trees. If you look at the scaly bark on this one, it kind of looks like a silver maple, but the rings on the end don't look like silver maple. It's got weird rings on the end, so there's a possibility it's sycamore. That one there looks like a Norway maple to me. I have tons of Norway maple in my yard, and that's what it looks like. This could be the top of that tree. And this one looks like it's a sister with that log. So I think this is the top of that tree. And this one here doesn't look, I guess you can see some scaly bark on it. So I guess it could be part of that tree. I'm going to take a look at the end cut, see if the rings look the same. Yeah, the rings look pretty similar, but they look different than, well, I guess maybe not. That one log there looks like it's just a totally different tree. And Mike Trotto wants all 1x6s cut out of all this. True 1x6s. So that's what we're going to do for Mike. Is got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logs here for him. And then we got to slab that one out for Ed. That's a pretty good sized white oak. That's going to be big, heavy slabs. And let's go say hi to Danny. You can see we're all frozen out here now. This was all mud 2 days ago. I got my firewood pile, or this station, almost cut out, or almost split out. Just got a few more rounds to do here, and I got to cut up some of those big chunks there and do those so I can get the splitter moved out of here. Oh, there he is. Hi, Danny. Hi, buddy. You find anything? Just searching around. So that's really what we got going on. I'm pretty cleaned up here. I got rid of a bunch of stuff over here when I edged off all of that black oak. I cut up all the edgings, except for that one. I cut all the rest of them up and put them out in the campwood bin and some in the house. Give me some nice, small, little, dinky little oak sitting around. I cut up a bunch of this stuff over here for firewood too. There's Danny. This stuff's all got to go, so I'll be blasting through all that for firewood. This stuff here is my pile for my battens. My battens, I got all pieces right here are going to be battens for the shed. You just got to get edged off, and some of these too. And all this stuff behind it's got to go. I got some nice beams back there. I got to get those separated and put somewhere else. And the rest of all this stuff is just all chunks from customer orders that I'll block up and use for firewood. It's all seasoned and dry. I got some slabs under here. I got to make some benches for Santa's sleigh, and I think I'm going to take this whole bunk of slabs down to the Veterans Center and use the slabs that are in that pile for the benches. And I think I'm going to use, you see, we cut up some old logs that to see if we could save any part of what was in them. We ended up with like these 2 10x10s, and you can see, where there was some rotten spots in them. They were no good to use for anything except for, maybe a cool looking beam somewhere. But I think I'm going to block up these for the legs for the benches. So it'd make it simple, just block it in the legs and then put the slab on top and timber lock it down, and it'll be all done. I won't have to make a frame or anything like that and mess with a bunch of 2x4s and a whole bunch of planning and all that crap. So that's what we got going on there. I almost tripped and fell over. Got all this black locust here. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with all these black locust slabs. And I got some 5/4 black locust boards down there, and I've got some ash here. These are ash beams right here. I think I'm going to use these in my retaining wall that's going to go along here. But this is kind of our little wind down. So I think cutting that stuff out, I could probably do it all in one afternoon if I get at it and didn't hit any metal. I'll probably end up making it into 2 afternoons, maybe tomorrow and Tuesday. So there'll be some videos up on those. I think I'm going to start with the white oak because I'm kind of the victim of my own success on that white oak. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll walk you up here. Show you a maple that I slabbed that Ed saw, unfortunately for me. This is another firewood pile right here. And I think there's a black oak log in here, and I'm going to mill that one into floorboards for Ben Silva's timber frame. I've been kind of saving that log for a while because it looked, it's probably 8 feet long and it's a little fatty. I think there'll be some really beautiful wood in that. We got a couple of black locust posts in here that I got to get out of here because I don't want to cut those into firewood, and then a whole bunch of Norway maple. As you can see the Norway maple there. There's Norway maple there and Norway maple there. That looks an awful lot like that other log. There's one right there, Norway maple there. This is all going to get blocked into firewood and split. It's all dry, all seasoned for years actually. Some of it's starting to turn. So I can cut and split this right up and have it go right in the house. But I'll show you these maple slabs that I milled for Jesse Keys. And when Ed Giordino saw these and he saw the finish on these, if I get zoomed way in, there's a few little ripples in them, but these came out really super smooth. And Ed was saying that he wants his white oak to come out super smooth like that. And I just told him, I said, hey, I can't promise it will, but I do my best. He thinks it was going to cut way down on a sanding. You can see some ridges in it. It's not bad. These aren't the smoothest slabs I've ever cut, but these came out pretty good. So he thinks if his white oak comes out looking like that, then he's gold. So that's what he wants. I also have a whole bunch of these true inch thick, 18-foot long flitches up here, and I got that big thick one that I use as a staging beam right there, or a staging plank. I thought about making Santa's benches out of those possibly too, because there's some real nice wide flitches here, an inch thick, that I could just burn an edge. Some of them have an edge on them. As you can see that back one there. Thought maybe I could just burn some edges on them with a circular saw and make the benches out of those. It's a possibility. It'd be easier if I use those. If I use those, it'd be easier as far as weight goes to carry them around than those slabs. But the only problem is they're 18-foot long. So if I get somebody who wants some 16 or 18-foot planks, those would be really good for that. So I hate to waste them on Santa's benches, but at the same time, they can't sit around on the ground forever either, waiting for somebody to come in and say, oh, need some 1-inch thick, 10-inch wide, 18-foot long boards. Probably just better to use them up. So this afternoon, I got to truck a bunch of this lumber down to the Veterans Center and get it on the trailer. And I don't know whether we'll put any of it together today, but because they're only going to be there like 2 to 5, which it's going to be dark outside at 4 o'clock. So you only got a couple hours to even do anything. As long as I get those benches together this week, I have through next weekend, or till next weekend, to get them put together. So we will see. A friend of mine, Matt, came over last night with a saw I put together for him, and he needed it tuned, and we actually tuned it in the dark out here. You can see all the bar and chain oil sitting on my bench. Last night in the dark, we were out here with a tack and tuning the carb and everything, and he's on his way back to New Jersey this morning. So Matt, I hope you have a good trip back. And that is pretty much it. You can see I started putting some of that. I had a bottle of this RV antifreeze for winterizing my pressure washer every year. Started putting it in my water, keeping my water from freezing here for the mill. So I will use that before I switch over to that cold weather windshield washer fluid. But we'll have to do that. I did put some of this in the mill, in the water that's in the mill now, to keep it from freezing. So we'll be doing that too. It's cold. I mean, it's 23 at night today. It's still below freezing out now. But that's kind of an update. It's it's a beautiful Sunday morning, and I'm going to go in, turn NFL Game Day on, and watch a little of that. See what the wife's plans are for today, and at some point come out and get some of this wood loaded in my rack so I can take it down to the Veterans Center. But I wanted to do a little check-in, having some coffee, and letting Danny run around a little bit for his third time out this morning. We got the wood stove going in the house. It was 85 degrees in the downstairs when I came outside. I just dogged it down for the day. We'll just let it burn itself out and start it again tonight for a little while. And this time of the year, I try to only burn it in the morning and burn it at night a little bit, just to take the edge off the house. And we'll keep going on firewood, and do some milling this week. And I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up. Mechanix, hopefully you will see this video, which I'm sure you will. Tom, thanks for the new pair. And for Danny and myself, we hope you're having a great weekend. We all hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If you're hunting, hope you have a good hunting weekend. And for us, it's Pirate Solutions out.